Welcome back to France 1940 and the late night gamer. But as you can see, I'm now gaming in full daylight. So that's a change. Let's see if I can change the tide of war by changing from night into daytime. The first thing we'll do is to advance the turn track counter, or the campaign turn counter. Right. Now we move to the June 5th to June 14th, 1940. The black number up here, I don't think I've explained that before, but that is the number of victory points we'll get if we finish the game in this turn. So we had the possibility to score 26, now we're down to 19. But then we need to take all the objective this turn. Then we will do a refit, and we need to get the units up to full strength. We can only refit one unit with our 2 supplies, but we need to think now if we want to use the supplies to move. Because one of the challenges I'm facing, or one of the dilemmas, is that if I am refitting one unit, I won't have any supplies, and this Panzer here, which is only just come on in Liège, can only move one spot or one space into Dinant, and there's no enemies to fight in Dinant. But if I instead choose to let my units stay reduced, of course they're more vulnerable, but I can then move my Panzer into Dinant and spend a supply to move it into Brussels or even into Cambray. So again, there are some tough strategic choices to be made, and they are risky, of course. And if you look at the map and think about when the Allied are going to issue their orders in their turn, you see that they will advance for sure with the units in the western part here, because they have so many units that the modifier will push them above 6. They will advance, and if they do that, well, they will not advance from here, from Arras, but they will advance from Aim. Then they will attack me in Cambray. So I am expecting an attack in Cambray. It basically means that I need to refit a unit in Cambray so that it can be used as a defensive unit. I could refit the Schützen. Oh, that's only a 2 defense. I'm not doing a refit. I'm going to save the supplies for moving the 15 panzers into Brussels. Okay, so then we can just go directly to the battle moves, and now we need to think what we want to do. Okay, so I want to use the panzers, Dinant, and pay 1 supply. I don't think I'm strong enough to take them on my own. They may get a hit on me, but if I bring the Schützen, then that is basically just to absorb a hit, but they will be wiped out if they take a hit, so they are quite useless in offensive maneuvers. So if I rather keep that behind, in order to make sure I am victorious, I could use the 25th Panzer, but I really want to use that Panzer to strike first here in Aim, so that these guys, so that I'm not assaulted by the 4th during the Allied advancement phase, but then the 5th will assault me, and they are stronger, so that may also be a little premature. Only doing 1 battle move is not very good. It won't advance me towards my target, and I can't assault the regiments here because they will just wipe me out, even though they have 3 in defense. I could inflict a hit or 2, but I am bound to take losses. I need all these at full strength if I'm to take Aim. Okay, so I think I want to take back Paris. I'm going to try to take back Paris with these 2 units. Although that one is reduced, I'm quite useless in battle. I will get battle plan points for it, and I also, well, it also get to move, right? So you see these guys are in a fortification. Okay, I'm taking this 7 Schützen with me here for the added battle plan points and for the movement, and the same with the 78 artillery. I will sacrifice them if needed. I have 2 units left here in Cambrai, but this is my battle moves. There are now 2 battles to resolve, and I have the better chance up here to win because this is in a fortification. I am going to resolve the top battle first. That doesn't matter now, but I'm going to do that. Yep, the Battle of Brussels. Well, is this the second or third time we're fighting for Brussels? Okay, so that now we need to find out which battle plans the Allied are taking. They get 1 for the unit, and because they have more than 8 supplies, they will reduce the supplies by 2 and take 2 more battle plans. Still they have 13 supplies left. So that is 3 battle plans for the Allied. So the dreaded battle plan cup. A dig in. Artillery. Disrupt. That's the danger of saving supplies, that they will draw disrupt and just take it out anyway. Well, I have 4 points to buy for. 3 for my units, 2 for this one, 1 for this one, and 1 for the supply. I'm taking the dig in, and I'm also taking a press so that I can wipe out those units. I need that. I'm going to test my newly acquired Panzer, the 15 Panzer, to see how good that is. The Panzer will score on a 5 or less. So let's see. Let's hope for some good fortune. Come on, please. Well, you couldn't see the roll, but the roll is actually quite good. That is a 2. My unit has a 2 superscripted value. So that is 2 hits. The Panzers were able to inflict 2 hits on the Allied chasseurs, or the Belgian chasseurs. Great. And now I will also attack with my very much reduced 7th Schützen. And I need a 1 now. Now I was unable to do that, I got a 2. Now we need to roll for the chasseurs, and they have a defense value of 2. Yeah, a defense value of 2, but first let's take the counters. First we will look at the disrupt to see if they will remove my last supply. And that is actually a 6, so they won't touch it. On a 6 it has no effect. Then their artillery will fire. And that's a 2, I think that's 2 hits. That is very bad. And now the chasseurs will defend. Let's see what they'll get. The chasseurs. Oh man, that's another hit. 3 hits. That is that's terrible. Well, my 2 hits on them will remove their dig-in counter, and I will flip the chasseurs. The artillery will stay for the next round. I need to resolve the 3 hits that they scored, and 1 for the dig-in counter. Then I would need to reduce my Panzer and remove my Schützen, and I remove my press, and we will go again. I will try to make a hit with my reduced Panzer. I got a 4, so that is a miss, and they will defend with their artillery and their reduced chasseurs. First the artillery. Well, luckily they missed as well, and the chasseurs, they got a 2, and that's a hit. Oh no, that is terrible, that's devastating. They took out my Panzer. Oh, I think that's it, folks. I don't think I can win this game now. But let's keep rolling and move on to Paris. But they will reduce 2 supplies and take 2 battle plans. And they have 1 battle plan for that unit. That's 3 battle plans. They take a press. They also take a disrupt. They're really trying hard to get my last supply. And they have a tactics where they will re-roll 1 roll. 1 of their roll, not 1 of mine rolls. So I will have 2, 3, 4 battle plan points. I don't need to take the press, but I will take a dig in. That's very defensive of me, but I will do that. I need to do that because of the reduced status of the 78. I'll take a tactics. No, I don't take a tactics. I'll take a tactics. No, I don't take a tactics. I will take a disrupt. Try to take out some of their supplies. We will attack with the 25th Panzer. Now first we'll take the disrupt counter and see what we get. And we get 3. I get to remove 2 supplies from them. They are down to 9 supplies. Then I will attack with my Panzer, and if I'm rolling lower than a 4, I'm good. I'm really happy because that's 2 hits. And I actually rolled a 1, so that is 2 hits. Then my reduced 78, now I need a 1 again. And of course I get a 5. Okay, 2 hits, that's all. Now they can do their disrupt. Let's see, they get a 3 and they remove my supply. Disrupt is gone. My supply is gone. Then they will defend with their value of 2, but they're in a fortress, so that's a +1 for the defense value. And of course they did get a 3, so that is 1 hit. Their hit, I'm taking my dig-in counter. At least that's good. Now I can inflict 2 hits on them, and that's actually enough to take them out. So I was able to take Paris without any hassle. That's great. So if you look back on the map, the situation is not very bright for Rommel and his Axis forces. But at least I'm in a good position down here now. Now I actually get to upgrade because I wiped out a unit. Oh, that's right, the chasseurs also will get an upgrade. Let's do that first. They took out 2 of mine, but they only have 1 unit. That was a very strong defense. The chasseurs are upgrading to a veteran. Notice that the chasseurs got a +1 battle plan point counter. They don't deal with battle plan points, of course, since they are the allied forces. Instead, that is actually 1 extra battle plan. And then down in Paris, the 78 artillery will be upgraded to a veteran status. They are much better now in defense. Perhaps they are so good that I don't need to upgrade them or to refit them, because now they have 3 in defense. So if I use them as a defensive force, yeah, that's interesting. See, another thing that's happening is that these 2 destroyed forces are not put in my reinforcement pile. They are put in my destroyed pile. And I need to repurchase these units for 2 supplies in order to move them to the reinforcement pile. So they're out of the game, but not able to be put on the map as reinforcements yet. Let's put them up here so that I remember that they are destroyed and not in my reinforcement pile. I only have 1 unit in my reinforcement pile, but it is a Panzer, so I'm hoping to get that on the map soon. Then I can move with my non-battle move. Okay, so I won't be moving any units during my non-battle moves, and my supply check says that I'm not overstacking anywhere. Then I do the actual resupply, and these 2 units did not move, and I'm holding Cambray. 6 battle plan points. Sorry, that's of course 6 supply points. And I destroyed this one, so that's 7 supply points. That's 14 supplies. Now I'm buying the 31st Panzer and put that on in Paris. That's 5. I have 2 more, and I take 4 supplies for those 2 points. At least I can refit 2 units next time. Okay, that's it. That's for my resupply. Notice that even though that I had no overstack in Paris, the supply check step has already passed, so I don't get any penalties this round for the number of units in Paris. The allies are going now. They will now look and see if they can do a refit, and they can refit the chasseurs. The good thing is that when they do refit any units that's upgraded, they will reduce the upgrade by 1. So if they were elite, they will go down to veteran, and if they're veteran, they'll be a regular unit again. So the chasseurs are now regular, but they're full strength, and that cost them 2 supplies. Oh, then they will check for operations, and there's only 3 counters left. So we'll roll the die, and we'll see. That's a 1. Oh, you can't see it, but it is a 1. So we'll flip this operation counter and see what it says. It is not a go, it is 2 advances, but it means that this whole pile of units are now moving 3 steps when they are getting on the map towards me. And within those 3 steps there are bound to be a battle. When the units are on, the Allied will counterattack in France. We can see that the Allied operations are building up, but we can't do anything about it, so we just have to sit and wait for that. Now we'll resolve their orders. And as before, in Arras they won't move, but what will they do in the eastern part? There is 1 unit in the eastern part, so that means we need to roll. I have, or the Axis have 3-5 units and the Allied have 1, so that is going to be a -4 on the die roll. And a 4 minus 4 is 0, so that is hold. But the Western units, they will probably not hold. I have no units there, so there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 6 modifier on that roll, so that is an advance. I don't have to roll for that. Durham into Le Havre, from Le Havre into Rhône, Rouen, Rhône. These French names are really difficult for me. That's the most direct line towards Allied, towards Axis forces. So the 5th, I'm doing that randomly again, over every one of these areas or spaces is just 1 space away from any Axis forces. The rules will state that, as I understand it, that the player gets to choose, but I'm not choosing, I'm letting the die choose. So let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. And I got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so they are moving into aim. The unit in aim has not moved yet, so this one will attack, and it has 2 possible targets that are both adjacent. It's Paris with 3 units and Cambray with 2 units. The rules state that it will move into the region that has so that the number of Axis and Allied forces will be equal. That means that if it moves into Paris, we will have 4 forces here and 2 forces in Cambray. That's not equal, but if it moves into Cambray, there will be 3 forces in Cambray and 3 in Paris. So it will attack in Cambray. But then, of course, there's a battle in Cambray. Let's just resolve that battle. The battle for the liberation of Cambray. The Allies have 7 supply points left, and that means I will take away 1 supply and give them 1 battle plan. And they get 1 battle plan for that full unit, so that's 2 battle plans. Actually, they are taking a dig in and an ambush. Oh no. Axis, on the other hand, has 2 reduced units, so that's only 2 battle plan points. But the 6th Schützen has an upgrade, so that's 2 more, that's 4. And I have 4 supply, so that's 8 battle plan points. And I am taking the intel, hoping to reduce the ambush. Intel will resolve before an ambush. I will like to take the overrun to boost my values a little bit, because they are so reduced. Can I also take a dig in? 6, that's actually 8. So that's what I'll do. So let's resolve the intel. On a 1 to 3, I'm going to remove the dig-in counter. On a 3 to 6, I'm moving the ambush. So I'm removing the dig-in counter. That means that they get to resolve ambush. I remove my intel, of course. They will roll first. So let's see. Attacking on a value of 2. And that's what they get also, a 2. That's my dig-in counter gone. And now I get to defend myself. So this is 1 plus 1 defense, 2, 2. So they both have 2 in defense. I will roll 2 times and see if I can score any hits. I miss on the first one at least. So that's a 6. The second one actually gets a 2, so I score 1 hit on them. The ambush is gone, they will be reduced, and the battle is over, and they are forced to retreat into aim. Then they will do a resupply, and they will roll for Caen, Calais, and Paris. I hold Paris, so I don't think anything will happen there, but it may. Let's see. Let's resolve Caen first. Caen gets a 4, and a 4 is 1 force. So 1 force, 1 more force is coming on in Caen, and of course it's the armor. Then I will roll for Calais. That's a 5, and that is 4 supplies. And for Paris, which I hold, they are rolling a 2, so they rolled low, but I hold it, so that's plus 3, so that's 5, and that is 4 more supplies. What you can see now is that they are quite well supplied. They have 8, how much is it? 14 supplies, while Rommel only have 4 low-C supplies. Well, they're not low-C, but they're only 4. That takes care of round 4. Now we are really in a hurry. My plan now was to move west with the 2 panzer units and try to magically, I think, take Arras with the remaining units. That is going to be very tough, almost impossible. Let's leave it at this now, and I see you next time for some more action in France.